Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tony Holowitz, and I quite often get the question about what is Act Premium Cloud? What's it like using Act software in the cloud, which is now an offering for those people that are used to using Act? Well, I got to tell you, I've been using Act in the cloud in my office exclusively for my day-to-day Act use for almost 2 years. In late December, it will be 2 years. And I got to tell you, I love it. Now, one of the things you have to consider when considering using Act in the cloud is your internet speed. So one of the things I usually suggest to people is there's a website that I usually reference. It is speakeasy.net, speakeasy.net, and that is a speed test. The first thing I think you should do if you go there is this. Go there and do a speed test of your internet connection. And you want to make sure you have a decent connection. Having said that, once you have that connection, what are the next steps? Well, Act makes this pretty easy. They have a free trial, a 14-day free trial. You can make a backup of your database. You can start a free trial, upload your database, and see all of your data inside of Act in the cloud in a web browser. So when you are considering using Act Premium Cloud, the first thing you want to wrap your mind around is you don't have to download or install any software. It's all cloud-based. You can access it from any computer, and that's a huge advantage. To log in, you're going to go to my.act.com, log in, make sure you pick the right database, because if you've uploaded your database, you're going to have two choices. You're going to have the demo database that was in there originally, and also your database which you've uploaded. So you want to make sure you pick the right database. Now, what are your first reactions going to be when you see Act in the cloud? Well, let me put it this way. Chances are it's going to look a little awkward. And the reason it's going to look awkward is because of a few things. One, it's going to be based on the size of your computer screen. Two, it's going to be based on which web browser you used. Did you use Chrome? Did you use Microsoft Edge or Firefox? Three, it's just getting acclimated to what you're seeing. But everything you see there is an easy fix. The bigger the screen you have on your computer, a desktop, larger monitor versus a laptop, that can be worked around. You can adjust that. So there are things you can do to make this a great experience. And I'm going to throw a couple things out there. One is the F11 key on your keyboard, Frank 11. All the stuff you have at the top of your monitor or browser screen, you can move that by pressing the F11 key. The other thing I want to throw out there is the control key. On your keyboard, you have a control key and also a plus and minus key. You can zoom in or out to make Act exactly the way you want it to be by doing control minus, control plus. Those will make the things that appear on your screen bigger or smaller. You can adjust that for your vision. So when you experience Act in the cloud, you actually have some huge advantages. You have the advantages of being able to work with Act anywhere. You also have the advantage of what you get with Act in the cloud. It's very inexpensive, $360. You get 2,500 monthly emails. You get a tool called Act Companion, which allows you to have all your data on your mobile devices, such as your iPhone or iPad or whatever kind of device you have. So Act Premium Cloud is something that you have to wrap your mind around and be prepared for. Think about it slightly different, but my experience has been it's about 80% of what you're used to, and the last 20% are things you can learn. And there's actually some things that make it unique and better than what you're experiencing now. At the end of the day, there's a safety net. Let's say you make a decision to work with Act Premium Cloud, and you decide, hey, I like this, I'm going to try it, but for whatever reason, over time, it doesn't work for you. Well, you can also have what's called synchronization, where you can synchronize it down to your Act database. There's an additional charge for that, $120, but it's a safety net. So if the cloud doesn't work out, or if you find there's situations where you need Act on your desktop, you can do that as well. So I urge you to give it a chance, because there's so many things about it that I like. It's less complicated to maintain. There's fewer error messages, and if you're a long-time Act user, you've seen those along the way. And actually what made me decide to do this recording today is the simple fact that I had a client with a weird Act issue yesterday. And he has an older version of Act, And now we've got to deal with what do you do next? It's going to cost some tech support, and I'm not sure if it's worth it. Anyway, I just wanted to give you some thoughts on that. I think it is a good tool. I urge you to take a look at it, do a trial, and see what you think. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tony Holowitz. Thank you very much for your time. Be well.